All right, I'm Mason. I'm with Wrap.com, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the work that we're doing in the Polkadot DeFi ecosystem. And what is Wrap.com? Wrap.com is a cross-chain institutional bridge. And very quickly, let's talk about why bridges exist. So in 2020, when DeFi ecosystems were sort of maturing and coming about, you had a bunch of assets and you had a bunch of DeFi apps. The problem was there was no way to move these assets, these layer 1 assets on different chains, to the DeFi apps that were sort of sprouting. And so as a result, there was no connectivity. There was no way to move them in. It was costly to move into a position in these DeFi apps. You'd have to sell and transfer into an asset that was compatible with these DeFi apps. And it was time intensive to do that, and it's still time intensive. It can take an hour, a few hours. It can take a week to bridge back and forth different chains. And when we're thinking about bridges, what are the different flavors that we have out there? And so we have 3 flavors. There's decentralized bridges. So decentralized bridges are ones where you can move assets from one chain to another in a trustless manner. It's usually governed by cryptography. You also have federated bridges. And so these are ones that are usually governed by multi-sig wallets. And so assets go into a multi-sig wallet, and they're issued out of another one. There's also custodial bridges, and so these are ones where assets sit with the custodian, and tokens are issued directly to the end users. And so we have these 3 flavors of bridges, and what are the different trade-offs? So with trustless bridges, I think these are going to have the best long-term sort of opportunity, but if we look at where the technology is today, it's still slow to transfer between trustless bridges. It's also hard to scale them because it's governed by cryptography and it's trustless. And generally, this tech is a little bit early. If we look at federated bridges, these are sort of semi-trusted. They're usually known parties that are holding the different keys. The good news is that these scale really well. They're just a little bit early. They're not as decentralized, and so you do have to trust certain parties. And when we look at the third flavor, we have custodial bridges. So these are the most trusted because they're custodial, but they are faster, more scalable, and secure, just because the technology is a little bit simpler and it's battle tested. And so let's quickly dive into the world of Pairchains and how these bridges sort of pertain to the Polkadot ecosystem. And Polkadot has many Pairchains, and each of these Pairchains have a different application, usually. And so you have Moonbeam doing an EVM layer. You have Akala working on stablecoins and DeFi ecosystems. You have Manta working on privacy, and you have projects like Zeitgeist working on prediction markets. And so you have all these different applications in the Polkadot ecosystem. And at the end of the day, you can have all these apps, but DeFi is powered by assets. You need different assets in these DeFi ecosystems to be able to use these different apps, whether they're AMMs, they're loan products, whatever they may be. There we go. And so that's why we're bringing Bitcoin and Ethereum to the Polkadot ecosystem. And so we're bringing wrapped Bitcoin and wrapped Ethereum to the Statemint chain with Wrap.com. And so how does this work under the hood? How are we actually doing this? So we basically create synthetic assets that are fully collateralized. And these are going to be on the Statemint chain, the public goods chain that's going to be accessible by all the Pairchains. And how does this actually work? So this is an example of one model that we have. And you can imagine, if you have 1 Bitcoin, you can go to the Wrap.com service. You can send that 1 Bitcoin in. That Bitcoin will go to a custodian. In this example, it'll go to Anchorage. When that one Bitcoin settles, our service auto mints a Bitcoin less the fee into the end user's wallet. And so this is the model we're using that we believe brings the fastest bridging experience paired with the highest quality. And what does this exactly mean for the Polkadot ecosystem? This means that with Wrap.com, you can have your BTC bridged in and settled within 10 to 15 minutes. And with Ethereum, you can have that bridged and settled within a couple minutes, and that's a two-way system. And this enables these assets, and hopefully many more assets, to be available for use in DeFi apps in the Polkadot ecosystem. And so what can you do at the end of the day? For example, you can trade in Bitcoin-denominated trade pairs and AMMs in the Polkadot ecosystem. You can take out loans on these assets that are now bridged in. And for the traders out there, you can now arbitrage. There's going to be new Bitcoin and Ethereum markets in the Polkadot world, and you can sort of arb against other markets that are out there in CeFi exchanges or other DeFi ecosystems. And if you'd like to learn more, please follow us on Twitter at WrappedFi. We also recently got the Wrapped Twitter handle, which we're very proud of. Or you can go to Wrap.com and sign up, and we'll reach out. And if you guys have any questions about how this works or what other types of work that we've done in the space, I'd love to answer some questions. You guys don't have any questions? No? OK.
I have a question. Yeah. How much did you